Good morning. Welcome. As you take a few moments to arrive, go ahead and find a nice, comfortable seated position. Center our bodies, center our minds. And go ahead and as you find that seated position, I want you first to rock to one side and then rock over to the other. And then maybe rock forward a little bit, back a little bit. And then I want you to bring that weight right to the center. See if you could find even pressure on the sit bones between forwards and backwards and side to side. Just taking a little bit extra time this morning to really find that center. Once you've got that, go ahead and allow your eyes to close. And beginning to lengthen the breath. Deepening on your inhale and exhale. Gently allow your eyes to open, beginning to drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. And just taking a couple breaths here, beginning to open into the side of the neck. Still lengthening through the spine. Inhale up through center. Exhale, dropping it over to the left. And if you're here with me and it's the morning, we can be a little bit tighter in the morning when we first wake up. So just taking our time to open up a little bit, dropping your chin to your chest. Still straightening through the rest of that spine, drawing that belly button up and in. Inhale, head up through center. Exhale, gazing up towards the sky. On your next inhale, back up through center, and then we're just going to take a few half turns. So go ahead and start with your ear dropping towards your right shoulder, and just slowly from there dropping the chin towards the chest, and around the other side, left ear, left shoulder. And then just half circles, so coming back down through center, to the other side. I'm just enjoying this for a few more breaths. If you feel a little more open here and you want to go for the full rotation, go ahead, go nice and slow, but honoring your body only if it feels good. Don't do it if you're feeling any tweaking. And if you've decided to take one direction, go ahead and take the other direction now. And as you're ready, gently inhaling back up through center. I want you to go ahead and take your legs out long in front of you. If you're like me and you have a little flesh on your backside, go ahead and roll a little bit of that out right now so you can really plant your sit bones on the mat. And we can just let our legs be about hips distance apart, really pressing out through the heels, drawing the toes back towards your nose. I want you to tuck that belly button in and up, interlacing the fingers, pressing the palms forward, then drawing those shoulder blades back and in together on your back. And then from here, beginning to lift up. And you may not get them up straight today, but just starting to move them towards parallel to the ears. But wherever you are today is beautiful. Just finding your place of stretch, finding your edge. And release. Go ahead and switch the cross of your fingers, so the other pinky is on top now. This one probably feels like the more awkward side. You probably started with your comfortable side. Drawing your shoulders back, squeezing your shoulder blades together on your back. Inhale up. Still drawing that belly button up and in, nice deep breaths. And release. If you have a strap, a scarf, or a belt available to you, maybe grab it now. We'll have the option to use it several times throughout the class. If you don't, that's all right. You can follow along without one. So we're going to come into a nice forward fold here. So if you have the strap available and you want to hook it over the balls of your feet, you may do that now. Otherwise, just inhaling the arms up and exhale into a nice forward fold. You can grab behind the thighs or shins, wherever they lie. Keeping a nice flex in those feet, drawing that chest, that heart down towards the legs. Maybe you just keep the head in line with the spine, so your neck and the crown of the head are nice and straight. Finding opening and length instead of crunching into the spine. And as you take a few more breaths here in this forward fold, I'm just going to bring in our mantra for today. Since we'll be working through a number of flexibility poses, I thought flexibility would be a great theme for today. The mantra is, I trust in the process. I feel flexible and flowing and at one with the changing pace of my life. One more deep breath in, and on your exhale, rising up, releasing that strap if you used one. Go ahead and bring your legs out wide as you can. If you're very flexible and you can go straight out to the side, feel free to do that. This is about where my body's at. So again, taking a nice deep inhale, straightening the spine, beginning to draw that chest forward, nice long spine, walking the hands, flexing the feet, pressing the thighs into the mat, and breathing. Beautiful work, finding your edge. And just really taking your time with your inhale all the way into those spots where you find resistance. Breathing into that resistance, and with the exhale, See if you can let a little bit of that go. On your next inhale, beginning to press up through center. We're going to just place our right hand on the ground right in front of us. Left arm up, reaching, reaching, and on an exhale, beginning to bend over towards the right. Breathing into that left side body. If you're really flexible, maybe you're all the way over, grabbing your toe. But if you are doing that, make sure that your chest is open. So we want to keep our chest pointing towards the front of the room. I'm using my elbow here to kind of help my chest come around. Inhale up through center, placing that left hand. Right arm up, lengthening spine. On an exhale, beginning to bend. Rotating that palm down towards the floor. Breathing into that side body. On your next inhale, up through center, go ahead and grab behind your thighs, drawing the knees up and in. I'm going to take a nice hip opening here. So drawing that right foot in towards that left side body. You may already begin to feel some opening here. Maybe you even try walking forward a little bit here. And if you feel a deep stretch in the hip, this is where I'd love you to be today. If you feel like you need a little bit more, go ahead and bring that left leg across towards the right. And you're going to work towards getting your knees to stack one on top of another. Maybe you're breathing here with a nice straight spine. I know it's early. We're just starting to open up, warm up. So really just take it where it's good for you. If you want to go a little deeper, you can begin to walk your hands forward. Inhale, beginning to press up. Taking your time to gently release the legs. And before we switch to the other side, I'd like you to go ahead and take your feet wide, hands behind the back, chest pressing up and forward, and we're just going to drop both knees over to one side, just swiveling on the heel and then the other. Your knee might not come to the mat. That is okay. Mine doesn't either, but that's what we're working towards. Just massaging through the hip joints there, where the top of the thigh meets the hip. Getting the fluid to flow in the joint there. Lubricating it so we can find more ease in our day. As we move about, go ahead, coming back to center, drawing those thighs in. Go ahead and bring that left foot back towards the hip. And again, choosing your yoga adventure this morning. Maybe you're here with one foot, and that's already a nice deep stretch for you. If you want to go deeper, bringing that right foot around. And again, option to just breathe through the straight back here, or to add a forward fold. As you're ready, inhale back up to center. And gently releasing your legs. And as you're ready, bringing your body onto all fours. Taking a minute to find a nice neutral spine, stacking the joints, so wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Then just inhaling the crown and the tailbone up, dropping those shoulder blades down away from the ears, and drawing energetically in, so like drawing those palms and knees in towards one another. And then pressing back, tucking that belly button, tucking that tailbone, pressing up through the spine, dropping that chin in towards the chest. And now adding breath to that. So on an inhale, cow, exhale, cat. Beginning to wake up the spine. And then coming back as you're ready to neutral spine. We're going to come up on our fingertips, so like making spider hands. So your palm is not going to be touching the mat, just your fingertips, and actually bringing the hands to right outside the mat. And then we're going to take a little intuitive flow. Again, just doing what's good for your body, but maybe you can work a little bit in between those shoulder blades there. Maybe coming forwards and backwards. Massaging out any knots in the spine, especially in the upper back. And as you're ready, bringing the hands back to center, tucking those toes under, and pressing the hips up and back, down dog. I really, really, really want you here to really roll those armpits in and the deltoids out. That'll really help protect your shoulders and other sensitive areas. Pressing your hips up and back. Go ahead and bring that left foot right to center. Right foot up and back. We're going to go right into opening, so bending the knee, opening that right foot towards the back of your room. Gazing out under the right armpit. Inhale back up through center. Releasing down, bringing that big toe now of the right foot right to center line. Inhale, left foot up, bending at the knee, opening the hip, gazing out under that left armpit. Inhale up through center. Releasing that toe down. Big toes are together. Knees come apart. Press back, child's pose. Go ahead and just release in the shoulders here, maybe allowing your elbows to come to the mat. Yes, just breathing here, feeling the place where your forehead meets the mat, feeling that belly relax and just drop down in between the thighs, feeling grounded and supported by your mat, by the earth. And as you breathe here, I'm going to bring in our mantra or our centering thought. I trust in the process. I feel flexible and flowing, and at one with the changing pace of my life. Often in life, especially my life, but I'm going to presume that it extends to others' lives as well, that the ability to be flexible and adaptable, especially since it seems that anytime I make plans, or most of my plans, never quite go exactly as the way I planned it. And so really allowing for that flexibility of thought and doing that with a sense of grace really helps me and can help us all live a healthier, happier, stress-free life. So focusing on that flexibility here, inhaling up to your hands and knees, tucking those back toes under, pressing back up, down dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, bending that knee and coming through slowly. So crunching, 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 and slowly setting it. Maybe you shimmy that front foot forward a little bit more. We're really going to get a nice wide low lunge here. Then I'd like you to kind of heel toe that right foot out to the right side of the mat. So your right and left hand can come on the inside of that knee. And then maybe with your right elbow, you just begin to push that right knee out a little bit, kind of rolling on to the back edge of that foot. So we're just working in the hip here. And I'm kind of bouncing the hips up and down. So pressing down as I open that knee and up as I straighten it back to center. And then maybe if it's available to you, dropping that right shoulder down and bringing that right hand on the outside of the right foot and just rocking forward and backward. Again, this is like a stretch prep for what would be an arm balance, and one day maybe we'll try it. Right now, just prepping the body to be able to do whatever life may call it to do. Go ahead and bring that right hand back on the inside of that foot. And if you can, right from here, shimmy it back to release it back into down dog. One deep breath here. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale, left foot up. Exhale, stepping through. And again, maybe shimmying it. Oh, I forgot the crunch part. Shimmying it forward so you get that nice wide low lunge. From there, go ahead and take that left foot so the outside edge is all the way to the outside edge of your mat. So your left arm can come on the inside. Maybe you begin to push with that left elbow out, rolling onto the outside of that left foot. Pressing out through that back heel so that back leg stays long and strong. Then if it's available to you, dropping that shoulder down, bringing that left hand on the outside of the left foot. Maybe you begin rocking forwards and backwards. Go ahead and release that, bringing the left hand back on the inside, shimmying to release that left foot back into down dog. We're just going to come back into child's for just a moment, but this time knees together, feet together, hips back, head down. This time feeling your belly rest against your thighs. Inhale forward, hands and knees. Exhale, back down dog. Inhale, bending the knees, gazing forward, hopping or walking your feet to your hands. Exhale into forward fold. Inhale, all the way up. Reaching with the arms. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale up. And exhale, fold. Now we're going to get comfortable in this fold for a minute. So I would keep a micro bend in your knees. And maybe your feet come to the mat. Maybe they don't. Maybe you just hold on to your elbows. I'd like you to bend and straighten into the knees. Like I said, still keeping a micro bend at the top, no need to hyperextend. And maybe you don't straighten your legs today, and that's perfect wherever you're at. Just beginning to find some more length. And as you're ready, go ahead and press firmly into the soles of the feet and straighten as much as you can. And then I want you to shift the weight back and forward a little bit. And then I want you to come to that place where most of your weight is on the ball of your foot. So working towards stacking those hips right over the heels. Bringing your hands to your hips, tucking that belly button up and in, coming up with a nice straight spine, using the core for your lift. I'm going to face you, but you can stay at the top of your mat or come to the side, whatever's good for you. We're going to get a nice stretch in the IT band here, so go ahead and take that left foot and cross it over the right. And then from here, hinging at the hips, drawing the chest forward, back into a forward fold. And you should feel the stretch have kind of shifted more towards the outside of the leg versus right at the back. You probably feel it more in one than the other. Again, go ahead, bring your hands to your hips, tightening the core, coming up slowly, really using that entire front body to lift you up and switching. And again, drawing that chest forward, back into the fold. Other side. Ooh, that's a tight one for me. You probably find one side is tighter than the other. Most of us are not perfectly balanced, but with a daily practice, or even several times a week, we can begin to move towards a more balanced space. And it's just somewhere to move towards, never expecting necessarily to get there, as we all walk around with our own injuries and our own, what we've inherited from birth, and it's perfect, it's beautiful, just honoring where we're at, and everything is just a movement towards greater flexibility, towards greater balance, towards greater strength, with no final destination. Inhaling up, back to center. Go ahead and uncross your feet, and if you chose to come away from the top of the mat, go ahead and come back to your top of your mat as we're going to vinyasa back to the floor. Inhale up, exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, place your hands and step back into high plank. Go ahead and take an inhale at the top of your high plank before exhaling, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra, or up dog. Exhale, back, down dog. Go ahead, actually inhale forward onto your knees. I'm saying this basically for you, but for anyone who might be joining that does have blocks or books, maybe grab them now. Maybe you won't need them, but it's nice to have them as an option, and I'm going to offer them as an option. And if you don't have any yoga props and are planning on practicing regularly, they're super, super cheap on Amazon, and I highly recommend getting a couple blocks and a strap. So go ahead and inhale back up into down dog, drawing that right foot up. Exhale, bringing that knee into the chest, rolling forward over the shoulders, placing your foot between your hands. I'm going to come check out that chat in just a second. Go ahead and let's just start with this. Inhaling your front body up. Exhale, hands to heart. Then we're going to take that left shoulder and hook it over the right knee. And begin pressing into the hands. Revolved side angle. And it's not a touch screen. Okay. Hopefully, the speaker picked up my voice. And inhale back through center. And exhale, hands framing that front foot. Now go ahead and grab that block if you've got one. You're going to inhale up, placing that block right in front of that foot, twisting that back heel to the mat. Left arm comes up, right hand to the mat or to a block. I like having the block to give me a little bit more lift in the side body there. Maybe this is available for you as well. Bending a little deeper into that knee, just so long as it's not coming out over that front ankle. And continuing to open across the hips here, continuing to roll that front body open, heart shining forward, Crown of the head stays in alignment with the neck. On your next inhale, pressing through that front foot, up through that top hand. Exhale, placing the hands, stepping back, down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, crunch, crunch, crunch. As you step it through. Once you've got it placed, maybe shimmying it forward a little bit more, taking a nice long base. Go ahead and swivel that back heel towards the mat. Inhaling up. And go ahead, exhale, hands to heart. Now if you can, you're probably going to want to come back up onto the ball of that back foot, hooking the right elbow over the left knee. Pressing into the hands, revolved side angle. Inhale back through center, shifting that back heel to the mat, and beginning to open the hands, maybe with your block. Side angle. Pressing out through the back edge of that back foot, rolling that chest open, reaching out through the top hand, drawing the crown of the head forward in line with the neck. Breathing here. Just a couple more breaths. On your next inhale, coming up, pressing through that front foot. Exhale, windmilling the hands down and stepping back. Down dog. Let's go ahead and take a few more breaths in child's pose. So inhale the knees forward. Tops of the feet comes to the mat. Shifting the hips back. Child's pose. Inhaling forward, back onto your hands and knees. Go ahead and make your way all the way onto your back, taking your strap with you. Does you find that nice comfortable position where your spine is straight and supported? Go ahead and start with your knees bent, soles of the feet on the mat. Go ahead and draw that left knee in towards the chest. And maybe you even draw it a tiny bit out towards the side and like in towards your armpit. Then go ahead and grab your strap, hooking it around the ball of that left foot, and beginning to extend upward. If you don't have a strap, you can just grab behind the thigh. Just breathing into the back of the leg here, really flexing that foot, drawing those toes back towards your body, pressing out through the heel. Maybe it's not straight today. Like you want to keep a slight micro bend in the knee for all of this, for all of these. You don't want to lock your knee out. So Coming wherever you need to get a nice straight leg and a nice stretch. Again, without locking the knee out. And go ahead and begin transferring both straps into the left hand and opening that left leg over towards the left. Go ahead and draw that right leg out long now to give you a little bit more weight, a little more counter support to keep that right hip down as you open that left leg out to the left. Continuing to draw those toes up towards your head, pressing out through the heel. Inhale up through center, switching the straps over to the right and allowing that left leg to drop over towards the right. You might need to release a little bit on the strap here, depending on where your open places are and where your tight places are. Continuing to flex through that foot. Maybe you bring the left arm out to the left. And still keeping those hips pretty much on the mat. Like you'll see it come up a little bit, but you don't want to be flailing all the way over. You really want to be finding that stretch in the back of the leg here. Inhale, up through center. Bending at the knee, releasing the strap. Go ahead and give that knee one more nice squeeze in and releasing it onto the mat. Bringing that right leg up, squeezing that knee in just on the outside of the body, in towards the armpit. Then hooking the ball of the foot, pressing up, nice straight leg, finding that sweet spot, drawing those toes back towards the nose, relaxing in the belly, and just breathing here. Couple more breaths here. Again, transferring both those straps over to the right and opening your leg out to the right. Maybe bringing that right hand, or the left hand in the left hip crease. Just encouraging that left hip to stay on the mat as you open into the inside of the right. Inhale, up through center. Transferring both straps over to the left. Beginning to drop that right foot over towards the left. Maybe you open your right arm for some counterbalance. Inhale, up through center, bending that knee, releasing the strap, giving that knee one more hug in. And go ahead and bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Crossing the left ankle over the right knee, dropping both knees over towards the right. Left arm opens, gazing out over the left shoulder. A nice supine twist. Inhale, back up through center, switching across the legs. Exhale, over to the other side. through center. If you have a block, go ahead and grab that block now. I'm going to set up with the block first, and if you don't, just wait a moment and we'll still do a little inversion for Shavasana. So bringing the soles of the feet to the mat and bringing your block under right to the sacrum. Should feel really good sitting there. Should feel fully supported. Maybe you can clasp your hands behind the block. Maybe you just bring the palms of your hands to the mat. And then I'm going to face forward for this part, rolling your shoulders under just a little bit, bringing your knees up and extending the feet up towards the sky. Just breathing here. If you do not have a block and still would like to do an inversion for a couple moments, just allowing that blood to run the opposite direction, reoxygenating the brain with fresh blood cells. Inversions are shown to help release serotonin and reverse the effects of aging. You might roll up, grabbing onto your hips with your hands, just finding some nice support there, and then from there beginning to straighten the legs. So either taking the block supported version or the hand supported version, or doing any last couple stretches that feel good for you. If you took the hand supported version, beginning to drop the feet over your head, bringing your hands back to the mat and rolling down one vertebra at a time. If you have the block supported version, go ahead and begin to release your toes back to the mat, soles of the feet pressing up to release the block. And then rolling down one vertebra at a time. Once you've reached the mat, we're going to begin to make our way into Shavasana, final resting position. Maybe just gently tucking the shoulders under, allowing the front body to open. The backs of the arms rest easily against the mat. Finding that nice even point at the back of your head. Nice straight spine. And releasing any control over your breath. Allowing it to return to its natural rhythm. to bring awareness back into your body. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. As we awaken back into this room, I'm going to leave you once more with the centering thought of the day. I trust in the process. I feel flexible and flowing, and at one with the changing pace of my life. Deep inhale. One more exhale through the mouth, maybe sticking out the tongue. And beginning to bring the soles of the feet to the mat. As you continue to awaken, rolling onto one side for fetal position. Taking a breath or two here. When you are ready, and do begin to press up, take it nice and slow, allowing the head and neck to come up last. And as we arrive at seated, I'm just going to repeat the closing from last night. And last night, I chose to end the class in Om. And at some point, I might bring in a little bit more of what Om means in general. But what I shared last night and why it means so much to me is just because it's simple, and just the way making that sound, the vibration, feels in my body. It's very calming and soothing. And so even if for no other reason than simply that, let's bring our hands to heart center. And if you're in a place where you can join me and not feel embarrassed, although there's really no need to feel embarrassed either way, whether there's people or not, but go ahead and join me if you can. Inhale. Thank you for joining me today, for your practice, for your breath, for your body, for finding a little bit more space and flexibility. Namaste.